Hi, welcome back to Daytime. Well, it's going to be an exciting time at the Center in the Square this weekend as Broadway Heroes hits the town with our good friend David Rogers, who is with us today. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hi, Terry.
How are things?
Things are great, thank you. How are things with you?
You know what? Things are fun. Look at us, eh?
Look at us. You look great. You look better in person, by the way, than on television. Just so everyone knows that.
Thank you. Thank you. I would love to say the same for you. You look better at a distance. Can I say that? I don't know.
Yeah,
you look better close up.
I'll take from a distance.
Whatever.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Was it always about singing for you?
I think it was. I think once I hit high school, I think people asked me how I knew I could sing or something, but I never really sang out loud until maybe grade 12, grade 13, but I think I always knew I could sing. I used to play my old, I tell this in the show, I used to put on my mother's old records, Man of La Mancha and Camelot, and I used to listen to these great leading men sing, but I never sang along with them.
Right.
I just thought, well, everybody can sing, right? And then all of a sudden I just opened my mouth and went, if ever I would leave you. And wait a minute, I can do that. Can everybody? So I just figured out that I could sing like that. So by listening.
Then did you choose to pursue it and say, hey, I think I'd like to make a living at this?
I did. My mother was, great enough to say, if you want to do this. And like, I couldn't do anything else. You know, we were deciding, should I be a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher? I said, well, I'm not very smart. I can't do any of that. So I might as well keep singing. And she would. But
you could learn lines.
I can learn lines.
Right.
That I can do. Yeah.
Now, I also have to ask, because was there a point where you kind of went, you know what, I think I'm going to be okay in this profession?
I never doubted it. I was very fortunate, to be in the right place at the right time.
Right.
Because when I moved to Toronto to start doing musicals, that's when they all came to Toronto.
Right.
My first big one was Cats, which was the first big musical to come to Toronto, and then Cats happened, Tommy happened, Crazy. All these things came to Toronto, and then I got into Phantom, of course, which lasted me a good 10 years.
Right. Well, you're probably one of the few who did both roles.
Yeah, I started out doing Raoul. I did Raoul on the tour, which is the young lover in Phantom, and then I moved into the role of the Phantom of the Opera, which I'm, grateful for.
Yeah. So tell me about this Broadway Heroes thing. How did this all come together?
Well, this show happened. It first started in Drayton with Alex Matsakis was great enough to commission this show about the great leading men of Broadway, and we first did it at Drayton, and then since then it has gone on to it started as Give My Regards to Broadway, which Alex named, and then we found there was a lot of shows called that in symphonies, so we renamed it Broadway Heroes. Right. And it's done a lot of symphonies across Canada, and we're doing it Friday and Saturday at Kitchener, which I'm so thrilled about to be doing it in Kitchener. It is one of the best symphonies in Canada, so to have those great musicians playing these great Broadway songs behind me, it's going to be quite a thrill.
And it must be different for you, especially if you're on a tour where sometimes you're with a symphony, sometimes you're not. There must be quite the difference.
Sometimes I'm with just a piano player doing the show. Sometimes I'm with a 10-piece band, and sometimes when I'm lucky enough to have, like I say, this great symphony, it's such a huge difference to have a 60-piece symphony. Playing these great songs. It's one thing to be singing Luck Be a Lady Tonight with a piano player, and then all of a sudden there's this huge symphony behind you going, Luck Be a Lady, pa-pow, pa-pow. And these trumpets and the strings are going, and it's just, I don't even need to be out there, really, Of course, you know symphonies. It's just the sound of a symphony. It's all thrilling to me, and then it gets out to that audience. It's just the excitement in playing this great Broadway music. It's thrilling.
Yeah. Do you see yourself like as Sinatra up there? Kind of, where it gets so surreal that you're like, I'm not David Rogers, I'm like Sinatra in front of a big band?
Sometimes, yeah, more because of the way the show is structured. I feel like maybe the old time Al Jolson's, or and then we go right up to Phantom and things like that. So and I don't use the hand mic in this show. It is more presentational. There are a lot of costume changes, and so it's not that your usual symphony fare maybe that some people will be expecting, where I do stand with a microphone and sing one song after the other. There's maybe 20 costume changes. I bring people on stage. It's more of a show than a concert, I would say.
Yeah, well, I remember seeing it in Drayton, and I was just blown away. Well, and you know what, even back, for those of you who don't know, bring up this picture, this is great. David and I were at the Banff Centre of Fine Arts a few years back,
A few years back.
One or two years back. And I remember back then, man, the second you opened your mouth, I went, wow, that kid's got chops.
Yeah.
I didn't say kids because we were,
We were kids then. Yeah. We were in West Side Story together.
That's right.
And
that's right.
The great Alan Lund directed
Good Alan Lund, who was right there beside you.
I got to stand beside Alan.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember Terry at all. You were in the chorus or something like that, right?
I believe I got to take a swing at you at some point.
I think so,
during a rumble. Yeah. It was, but it was a great time. And as I said back then, I think you could see it. That you love singing.
Thanks.
But, like there's the odd time, you see people and they're like, hey, they're a good singer. But to see somebody who you go, man, they're loving this.
Well, thanks. I credit a lot to Alan Lund. Speaking of Alan Lund, he was the first one who actually discovered me, so to speak. I was singing in an industrial flower show or something, and he said, I want you to come and play Tony in West Side Story. And from then he put me in Charlottetown, and he really, taught me how to sing. Not necessarily technically, but I remember he used to come up to me and say, you got to give more. I was just this kid, and I was singing, Maria, I just met, and he would literally push me in the gut, say, you got to give more, and until you were like, Maria, and then, okay, that's it. Don't do any less than that. So I still credit the great Alan Lund for teaching me the basics of performing and singing. So.
Yeah. Well, on that note, would you like to give the people a sample of how far you've come, as well as what they may hear on the weekend?
What they might hear on the weekend, but do come on the weekend, because the Kitchener Symphony is such a great orchestra. I'm so excited about it.
And you know what? As an audience member, just to sit in the center and the acoustics in that room are just incredible.
Yeah, and everyone loves the show. Men love the show too. Those men who are dragged by their wives. They go, oh, that was actually good. Listen to all those leading men's songs. So. Sure, only if I can sing to Susan. You
can do that. And while Susan's coming up here, we should let people know what's happening the 27th and 28th, this Friday and Saturday, at the Center in the Square. You can go to davidrogers.ca to check out more about him. You can also go to the KW Symphony site to get tickets and more information, or call the box office. It's good to see you, my buddy. Sing us out of here.
Terry.
All right.
Okay, you're Christine. You need to stand. You're in a negligee.
I'm the sidekick,
the
as always.
smoke's up, the wind's blowing. Here we go. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor. Grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Here we go. Okay. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold, unfeeling light, and listen to the music of the night. Close your eyes and surrender to your darkest dreams. Are you still here? Purge your thoughts of the life you knew before. Close your eyes, let your spirit start to soar. It's a little high, I picked the wrong key. And you'll live as you've never lived before.
Oh, you're making my knees turn to jello, David.
We'll be better on the weekend. Thank you, Susan. Thanks for coming up.
You know what? I will listen to you sing anytime and look forward to it on the weekend.
Great. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Terry. We'll see you on the weekend.